This is the movie that made even hardcore horror fans walk out. A film so controversial, it was banned across Europe and pulled from shelves. You're about to discover why Nekromantik, 1987, became the most disgusting cult classic ever made. But be warned, once you hear what's inside, you can't unsee it. Directed by Jörg Buttgereit, Nekromantik tells the story of a man named Rob. Rob works at a cleaning company that collects dead bodies. But he doesn't just clean them up. He brings them home. The film stars Dr. Lorenz as Rob and Beatrice Manowski as Betty, his girlfriend, who shares his twisted obsession. Yes, they both fall in love with a corpse. And that's not even the worst part. Robert Schmatke is a troubled young man who works for a company that specializes in cleaning up public spaces after traffic accidents and other fatal incidents. A job which allows Robert to indulge in and explore his necrophilia fetishes, which are shared by his wife Betty. Their apartment is decorated with centerfolds featuring models, pictures of famed killers, and jars containing human parts, which are preserved in formaldehyde. One day, the street cleaning agency is called to deal with the body of a man found dead in a lake. Robert becomes fascinated upon seeing the man's heavily decayed corpse and secretly takes it home with him, whereupon he presents it as a gift for Betty. Excited, they both cut off part of a wooden chair leg before sticking it onto the corpse's crotch and putting a condom over it, allowing Betty to use it as a makeshift phallus. Betty then commits necrophilia with the corpse. The next day, Robert is confronted at work by his coworkers and ends up getting fired due to his habitual tardiness and the odor festering from the suit in his locker. He returns home and informs Betty of his termination, upon which she angrily chastises him before leaving and taking the corpse with her. Robert suffers an emotional breakdown and kills their pet cat before bathing with its entrails. Robert drinks some whiskey and takes some pills before falling asleep and experiencing a dream of him being a partially decayed corpse, playing with a decayed severed head alongside a girl dressed in white. After waking up, it is nighttime, and Robert leaves his apartment to hire a gigolette. They go to a cemetery, where he hopes the environment will help satisfy his libido, but he fails to perform sexually. After the gigolette mocks him, he strangles her to death in a fit of rage, and then has sex with her corpse. The next morning, Robert is startled by an old gravedigger who stumbles across them. Robert quickly grabs the gravedigger's shovel and decapitates him with it before fleeing back to his apartment, where he commits suicide by stabbing himself in the stomach whilst simultaneously ejaculating. Sometime later, an unseen figure in high heels is shown digging up Robert's grave. So, why was Nekromantik banned? Let's break it down. First, the obvious. It contains graphic scenes of necrophilia, literal sex with a decomposing corpse. But the director didn't stop there. The film includes animal cruelty, dismemberment, and scenes so realistic that some viewers thought it was a real snuff film. Germany immediately banned it. The UK, Norway, Iceland, and even Australia followed. In fact, many countries made possession of the film illegal. But despite all that, or maybe because of it, Nekromantik became a cult legend. It circulated underground, on VHS tapes, with blurred labels. It became a rite of passage in the extreme horror community. And even critics, yes, real film critics, called it art disguised as trash. Or maybe trash disguised as art. Today, Nekromantik remains one of the most infamous films ever made. A brutal, uncomfortable, disgusting yet weirdly iconic piece of horror history. It's not for everyone. In fact, it's barely for anyone. But love it or hate it, you'll never forget it. Follow or subscribe for more banned, disturbing, and unbelievable movie stories.